Hello, and welcome to Frozen Morris Park. Folks, we're in the middle of a polar vortex, and I'm telling you, it is cold out here. It is 1 degree. And boy, is it frigid. We're just starting to get a tiny bit of snow right now, not much. But it is very cold. And right now, I'm in a fight for this greenhouse. We have never had sustained cold like we're having now in all the time I've lived here. This is very, very, very cold. And right now, it's even hard to stand it out here. This is very bad. And I'm just right now hoping for the best. And I'll keep updates during the day with what kind of snow we're going to get. But let's go in the greenhouse right now and check things out. Now here in the greenhouse, right now, we're riding a little bit above 40. Headed almost towards 50, that's good, that's really good. Now, earlier this morning, when I got in here, it was just about 42. And we're kind of riding a fine line when it comes to this. As you can see, my benches are kind of bare in the greenhouse right now because I've gotten a lot of things up inside the shop and what I call my safe room. Now you see these buckets that are here on the floor? These buckets are what I call bucket heaters. Now folks, I'm not recommending doing this to anybody. This is kind of a desperate measure here. I don't recommend doing this unless you have a clear area to where it's not going to catch anything on fire. I try to monitor how hot this gets right in here. It doesn't do too badly. Also try to watch these buckets too, because sometimes you have to throw them away because they'll burn through the sides of them. And so you have to watch it. These things aren't really safe to be using. I use them in a last desperate attempt to keep this thing extra warm. I do it at nighttime when there's no sunlight. And so just to try to keep things warm. Well, it's quite cool in here. As you can see out here, the wind is really going. The wind is bringing our wind chills down to about minus 15 to minus 25. This is also making things very difficult. Just want to show you some of the icicles hanging off the front of the greenhouse here. Crazy cold, guys. Crazy cold. Now the trick on these bucket heaters, how I do this is not like I light a fire right in the middle of these things. What it is, I shovel the coals. When the coals get too full in the wood stove, I shovel them out into here, the hot coals, put them in these galvanized buckets and set them on the floor here. I told you a little earlier. Like I said, I don't recommend these. This is a desperate measure. I do this in the coldest parts each year when we get them. This is unusual, so I'm using them. And you have to monitor this closely. So I don't recommend this. Do not use this just by me saying so. Here you go, guys. It's coming in on us. We got the snow starting to fall now. Things are going to look like real white here in not too long. Guess I better make do and check the stove. As you see here, I've got quite a bit of wood stacked up just right next to the stove. My main pile is over there, but try to keep up a bunch right here next to the stove so I don't have to run it over in the middle of the night and so forth, and I can just come out here and throw it in when I need to. And we'll just take a check, see if this stove needs any wood. Get this wheelbarrow out of the way. I'll put my wheelbarrow over the stove like that to keep the snow out of it, to keep it clear for when I need to go get some wood. Okay, everything looks pretty good in there. Burning good and hot. It's full. Don't need to worry about it right now. So, for right now, it's riding the storm out. Wow. And isn't it just amazing that these will survive this? Cactus in Arctic conditions. Well, folks, you see it's got pretty good snow going on. It's been snowing through most of the day. Getting quite a little covering here. It warmed up actually a little warmer than they said it was going to be. They said it was going to be 3 degrees. It's gotten up to 5. Like that would make a difference. Alright, we'll check back in about an hour or so. It's about 3 o'clock in the day right now. They say around 4 o'clock it's really supposed to start snowing really heavy. So we'll check back then. Now this is one of these bucket heaters kind of in action. As you can see, I've got these hot coals in here. And my blower fan right there is blowing out to here. And as this heat rises, the fan can blow it on across the rest of the greenhouse. And this will help, every little bit helps, but this will help keep a tiny little bit of heat in here, the extra. Okay, well, it's almost 5 o'clock now. We got a few inches on the ground, good covering. Still snowing quite a bit. It's got those big feathery flakes now. It is warmed up to a full 6 degrees. Oh. So all we can hope for is to hope the greenhouse stays good tonight. Now I bought this new blower fan here to kind of push some of this warm air out of the shop area here, out into this greenhouse. The heat comes in right here from my wood stove, blows across, and then this fan can help push it out. I had a smaller fan here that I've been using for a couple of years, but I think it lost kind of some of its power. It was not doing the job. My temperature was falling real fast. This blower fan here has allowed me to keep my temperatures up quite a bit better. Now, I've got a lot of my very best of the best, so to speak, up here in the greenhouse, up here in the shop rather, because it's quite a bit warmer. What's crazy is my Euphorbia evansii here is trying to bloom. You can see right there those little tiny yellow flowers on there. It's trying to bloom. That's just crazy. And the rest of the best I have in my safe room. Now this is my safe room. And as you see, I have quite a few things stuffed in here. I have them under a light. Like I said, it's really kind of crazy kind of things that are trying to bloom here. Flanaganii, look, the little flower buds all over the top of it. My Parodia Werneri that I grafted about a year ago. I've really wanted this plant, never could grow it on its own roots, and I grafted it. But look at all the buds. I think last count there's 11 budding sites on there now. They have the most beautiful, huge purple flowers. And I've got an amaryllis stuffed back there. My aunt and uncle sent me this amaryllis for Christmas. And we actually thought that it wasn't going to make it because the package, when it was sent to us, left out on the porch and it was very cold that day. And I actually thought it froze. Well, the outsides of the bulbs actually did freeze and kind of die off, but the insides were still okay. So I've got them coming out. I have this room mostly for my adeniums. I have a couple of adeniums here. As you can see, the leaves are kind of gone off from right now because they're in their winter sleep. So adeniums there. And I usually keep them in here because they just don't take the cold well at all. And if they're kept in a cool greenhouse, they really just don't do very well. My Ariocarpus, my big euphorbias. But anyhow, things are getting along here, and we're making it through. So this is how things have kind of ended up, guys. This is Monday afternoon. We have about 5 inches of snow on the ground right now, and you can see it's just still coming down. Now tomorrow we're supposed to be looking up a little bit, and hopefully it won't be so bad. But yeah, it's quite a lot of snow here, and we're still getting more. And actually, we're supposed to get more snow through the week. Let me show you what's in the greenhouse. Now here in the greenhouse, you probably notice it seems very dark in here. And it's not just because it's cloudy and snowy. It's because actually there is snow up on that roof. And to be quite honest, it's actually helping me. This is actually helping to insulate the greenhouse. Now I've moved a few things away from the windows here. As you can see, some of the things that are more sensitive, so they won't get too cold. You see on this Stapelia here, it's quite a crazy one. It grows all the way up into this pot. But this Stapelia, showing some of its stress colors. It's kind of purple, along with that green. It's been in the windowsill for quite some time, growing along the windowsill. And so it's changed some of those colors, both from the sun and from the cold. But as you can see, it should make it just fine. This thing's really flimsy and floppy right now because it is just so shriveled up from no water. But that's the way we got to have it. That helps real well. That's better to have it like that right now than just have it nice all full of water and everything, because it'll freeze a lot easier full of water and be damaged. Here's another euphorbia. My Euphorbia noclea is trying to come into bloom. There's if I can get any kind of focus on that. A little bit. Anyhow, it's trying to come into bloom. Just crazy stuff. But yeah, a little bit of dark in here. By tomorrow, the sun is supposed to start coming out, and seeing a little bit of sun will help this greenhouse. It'll help melt the snow off the top. Temperatures are going to come up to about 20 degrees tomorrow from what I hear, and hopefully we can start climbing out of this. I think we are on the upswing after today. Anyhow, this is Clyde Morris, Morris Park, and I hope things are much warmer where you're at. Maybe there. Hope you're having a warmer day. Take care.